Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Gina. Nice to see you. I am doing 100 days live, 100 days in a row. And today is day 6. And today I want to talk about fertility foods and the fertility diet that I often recommend for women who are trying to get pregnant. So let's dive in. First, I wanted to let you know I am posting. One second, I am posting a link because weekly on Wednesdays, I'm offering live Zoom calls. So you're welcome to ask questions here. Sometimes I don't always see them, but please feel free to post them in the comment section, or you're welcome to DM or join me on a private Zoom live. And I just posted the link on how to request to join. Let's see. Yep, they just posted. So perfect. So today is day 6. And what else? Ask questions and definitely subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or wherever you are, just subscribe and then you'll get a notification when I drop my next video. So that would be awesome. And it also helps me to keep going. I get motivated when I see people liking my content. So awesome. All right, let's talk about fertility foods. Now, what's the easy way to say this? Often women are eating the fertility diet or foods that they've read or that have been recommended to eat that are really healthy for fertility, but that's just one piece of it. So it's like, oh, I eat this all the time. I eat this all the time. There's a couple challenges or problems that can come up. Now, one that I run into recently, and I totally understand this, is we get into the habit of eating the same foods every day. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I tend to, for breakfast, like I eat this, but you want to try to have variety. And that is even with healthy foods. Like eating too much of a good thing, even though it's healthy for you, you've got to mix it up. So, what do I mean by that? So, maybe, for example, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're having eggs, although eggs are really good for fertility, eggs to eggs. That's what I learned in Chinese medicine. But you could eat Monday, Wednesday, Friday, eat eggs with spinach or kale, or, you're going to add on the layers of fiber and you'll add in chia seeds or a side of yogurt. And maybe another day you're going to add in, if you're able to eat oatmeal, you can add that with some nuts and then maybe some milk. Or you can do a side of vegetables. It just kind of depends on what time of day that you eat. But you want to keep it mixed up so you don't get bored, but also to get a variety of nutrients. But the other big thing that I want to talk about is how are we preparing the food? And then also back it up. How are we purchasing? Where are we buying the food? And where's that food grown? So these are really important things because we can't say, okay, cool, I'm eating beets, I'm eating kale, and I'm eating chicken for dinner. And then come to find out that there's hormones or antibiotics used. That's very common practice with chicken and other meats. So you definitely want to spend as much time as you can reading the labels of your food. And I know that it costs more money, but think of it this way. If you spend the money on you and on quality food, then you potentially could spend a lot less money and time and waste on getting sick or medical treatments. There's a lot to factor in. Do we want to act more preventatively, or are we going to act reactively? I hope that makes sense. So think of it that way. And I have a million notes here. So I'm just pulling out some things to talk about. Yesterday, my video, I think, was like over 30 minutes or something. So yeah, you want to focus on organic or locally grown and definitely see if they're sprayed with hormones. Try to keep everything also hormone free. Often they're plumping up these chickens, right, to make them nice and big so they can sell them. But unfortunately, those can lead to hormone disruption. So there's so many different layers of things to think about. And just a reminder that in in the comments, you are welcome to join me on one of my weekly Wednesday fertility live calls where I talk about a specific subject, but then also it's a Q&A with whoever shows up. And it's nice and private too. And the other thing is that when you go to these lives, as soon as you request to join and you get approved, in my little group there where I host the lives, is that there's free resources in there. There's a little fertility meal plan. There's a Jumpstart fertility bundle that also includes a toxins and a hormone disruption course. It's video form, and then there's some downloads on a worksheet where I will literally walk you through 4 or 5 rooms in your house. So looking at possible hormone disruption in the kitchen, and that would focus more on naming specific toxins that are found in foods, but also bringing it back to fertility diet. Once you buy the food, cook the food, or prepare the food, how are you preparing it? Which oils are you using? How much heat are you using? All these things we got to factor in. But also, how are we storing our food? We don't want to be storing them in plastic containers unless they're BPA free. There's like so many variables, but I have all that information inside, and it's free inside the free community. And again, that's where I host lives and drop special information in there. There's also a guide on intermittent or timed eating, intermittent fasting. And there's a PCOS guide and an endometriosis guide. So there's all these things that can get started. And then when you look through that and you've got more questions, join me on the live. Okay. And let's see what else. So yeah, we want to be careful of toxins that we're cooking with and trying not to use microwaves as much as possible, because this can strip foods of crucial nutrients for fertility health that is needed to prepare the womb and the rest of you, the rest of your body. And one thing is when we're eating is that we do want to look at timing. Okay. So we do want to look at, our bodies like structure. Everybody says, oh, kids, like I have an 11-year-old son. Oh, kids like structure. Guess what? We all prefer structure. Our bodies thrive on structure. So what I'm meaning by that is, and try it out and see how it works for you. So depending on your work schedule, I have a woman right now that I spoke with yesterday, and she works the night shift. So that's different for her. But if let's just say that you get up, you have to be in the office at 8 o'clock or 8:30 or something like that. So you wake up, you're like, oh, I'm not hungry, but try to eat the same hour within that window. So like 7 to 8 or something like that. Or maybe you don't eat until you get to work and you do like, yogurt, granola, or something like that. But let's focus on the timing. So you would want to pick 1 hour. So either 7 to 8 or 8 to 9, but Monday through Friday or whenever you're working, always stay within that window. But guess what? On Saturday and Sunday, you benefit to eat at the same time as well. And then looking at lunchtime, it's like, okay, every single day, my lunchtime is from 12 to 1 or 12:30 to 1:30. So no matter what, it's preferable for your body and for nutrient absorption and regularity, and also with energy levels. I've got too many things to say about this, but I just only have about 5 minutes left. So I'm trying to get to the best of the best. So yeah, look at time restricted eating. And I don't like that name, time restricted, but let's look at structured eating times. So again, so you eat at 7 to 8, and then you eat lunch at 11 to 12 or 12 to 1, 7 days a week, even if it doesn't have to be like a giant meal. Do you know what I mean? And if you're a snacker, then I think you can be a little bit flexible with that. Okay. But the primary meals really shoot for that. And then looking at dinner time, you want to say like, okay, every day, like this is a big thing for us. And it helps with your digestion and it helps sleep, is to not lay down right after you have a meal. So you don't really want, if you're laying down in bed by 8:30 or 9 o'clock, you don't want to eat a giant meal at 7 or 7:30. And I know that's tough. And I used to eat even later than that. And then I'd lay down a half hour later. So that is not a good thing. And I can tell you that sleep is much better when you have at least a couple hours to digest. Everything's just better. And then when you're sleeping, your body's not busy trying to digest. Do you know what I mean? So give that a shot. And I would tell you, if you try this, I would love to hear how it goes for you. So try it out for a week or 2 weeks, but to be realistic, like try it out for a week and then let me know how that goes. Thanks, Heather. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Heather, you can do this too, even if you're not trying to get pregnant. Okay. And then I already talked about this is the containers, like making sure that you're using healthy containers. I like to use mason jars and then, of course, BPA free storage containers for food. Again, because of the hormone disruption that gets involved when the food sits and it kind of leaches into the food. And you never want to put something in the microwave. I try to avoid microwaves these days, but that's a whole other story. But you don't want to cook food in plastic or in plastic containers that have toxins in there that are leaching into the food. And then it also does strip the food of nutrients. So just a reminder. Hi, Heather. Just a reminder that time restricted eating. That's going to be the goal for today. So you're looking at quality of foods and then where you're buying them, how people are growing the food, if they're using pesticides and hormone disruptors, antibiotics, all these things factor into fertility health. So give that a try with the time restricted eating. And don't forget in the comments there, if you like to join my Wednesday weekly private Zoom live, I think I got it all in there. Depending on your time zones, I'm in Mountain Time. I'm in Colorado. And I run these at 11 o'clock on Wednesdays. But if you're not able to make it, you can always submit me a question and then watch the recording after. So thank you so much. If you're live, thank you for watching. Thank you, Heather. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. 100 days live on fertility. I'll see you soon. Have a good night.